I spent years trying to shrink myself. I was told I was too much, too loud, too emotional, too sensitive, too passionate, too demanding. So I tried to tone it down. I lowered my voice. I swallowed my anger. I laughed at jokes that hurt. I made myself smaller so other people wouldn't feel overwhelmed. But here's the truth I eventually learned, and I want you to hear it right now. Your fire is not the problem. Your fire is your gift. The problem is the room you're burning in. Here's why they call you too much. When people say you're too intense, what they often mean is you feel more than I'm willing to feel. When they say you're too emotional, what they mean is your honesty makes me uncomfortable. When they say you're too dramatic, what they mean is you're exposing the truths I've been hiding from myself. It's not that you're too much. It's that they're too numb. Society rewards numbness. At work, you're supposed to clock in with a polite smile and leave your heartbreak and rage and passion at the door. In friendship, you're encouraged to joke, banter, and skim the surface, but not to dive into the ocean of your feelings. In relationships, you're often told to play it cool, to not care too soon, to never scare them off by showing the full force of your love. No wonder intensity feels like a curse. It doesn't fit the script, but let's be real. The world doesn't change because of polite nods and lukewarm emotions. The world changes because of fire. Intensity is not a weakness. It's energy. Psychologists talk about high sensitivity and emotional intensity as traits, not flaws. People like us experience life with the volume turned up. That means we notice micro expressions on people's faces that others miss. That also means that we feel injustice in our bones, not just in our minds. Also that we get swept away by music and art and poetry and love and beauty because we actually let ourselves feel it. Sure, it can be exhausting. Your nervous system runs hot. You cry easier. You rage harder. You fall in love like you're skydiving without a parachute. But here's the secret no one told you. The same fire that feels like it's burning you alive is also the fire that powers your creativity and your empathy and your vision. The trick is not to put it out. The trick is to find the right container. Toning it down doesn't really work. I tried. God, did I try. I bit my tongue in conversations where I wanted to scream. I stayed quiet when I should have stood up. I dated people who were safe because they couldn't trigger my fire, and I ended up feeling lonelier in those relationships than I ever did single. When you tone it down, you don't just lose the bad parts of intensity. You lose the joy and the passion and the brilliance too. You turn the volume down on heartbreak, but also on love, on rage, but also on purpose, on pain, but also on beauty. You cannot numb selectively, and every time you dilute yourself for other people's comfort, you teach yourself the lie that your fire is dangerous. But the fire isn't dangerous. The wrong people are dangerous to your fire. So here's the truth. You don't need to tone down. You just need to choose where and with whom to burn. You need to choose for one's safe people. Not everyone can handle you, and that's not a failure. That's a filter. Your job isn't to be palatable to everyone. Your job is to find the ones who want your fire, who thrive in it, who can hold space without flinching. These people won't call you too much. They'll call you finally. Then there is safe work. If your fire is creativity, don't waste it in a job that suffocates you. If your fire is justice, don't bury it under corporate silence. Find work, or at least side projects, where intensity is an asset, not a liability. Then there are safe practices. Your fire needs care. That means rest, solitude, grounding rituals, meditation, journaling, running, lifting weights, creative art, dancing like crazy at 2 a.m., even screaming into a pillow if you have to. The point is, your fire needs oxygen and release, definitely not suppression. There is a psychology behind too much. There is a psychological pattern here worth naming. Many intense people grow up being gaslit about their feelings. Parents or peers who say, "Stop overreacting, don't be so sensitive, why can't you just relax?" So you internalize the idea that your emotional truth is wrong, that you're defective, that you should strive to be chill when everything in your nervous system is wired for depth. But here's what therapy and research and raw lived experience all say. You are not defective. You are divergent, though. Your intensity is simply a nervous system that runs hotter, faster, deeper. And divergence isn't wrong. It's necessary. Every society needs its firekeepers, which is what you are. There's a cost to playing small. Think about it. Every time you shrink, you pay a price. You swallow your truth and resentment grows. You laugh off the insult and your body tightens. You dim your love and it starts to rot inside you as longing. Suppression doesn't make your fire disappear. It makes it toxic. Repressed anger becomes depression. Repressed creativity becomes self-destruction. And repressed passion becomes apathy. That's why so many people look fine on the outside but feel hollow inside. They've built lives around being manageable, not alive. But you weren't built for manageable. You were built for fire, for blaze, for intensity. There is a way to live without apology. What does it look like to live with fire unapologetically? It doesn't mean yelling in every meeting or crying in every cafe. We know people like that, don't we? My dad is like that. He rages every 3 sentences. He's always ready to spew anger at everyone present. And that's not what I'm talking about. We don't want to be like that, do we? No, we don't. So, living unapologetically doesn't mean chaos. It means alignment. When you're angry, you let that anger point you towards what needs to change. When you love, you let that love move you into action, not into fear of rejection. When you create, you let your passion fuel consistency, not just bursts of chaos. Unapologetic intensity isn't reckless, it's precise. It's knowing your fire is sacred and choosing carefully where to place it. And here's the paradox. When you stop apologizing for your fire, you attract the people who want to sit around your flames, not the ones who are scared of being burned. So here's what I want you to remember. And I said it before. You were never meant to tone down. You were meant to burn. But burn wisely. Don't waste your fire on people who want you to dim. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm either. Don't trade your depth for shallow safety. Your job is not to be less. Your job is to find the ones who can meet you at full flame. So stop apologizing and stop shrinking and stop calling yourself too much. You're not too much. You are exactly the amount of fire the world needs. If this spoke to you, it's because you already know. You don't need to tone yourself down. You just need a safe place for your fire. And that's what I'm building here. A space for intense people, sensitive people, passionate people, the ones who've been told to quiet down when they were born to shake the ground. So if you're tired of shrinking, stick around. Subscribe to Way Out of Line, and let's learn to burn brighter together, without apology, and without fear, and without shame. Because your fire was never wrong. You just needed the right place to set it free. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.